The first time my neighbor Liam Carver reported me to the building association, I was baking blueberry muffins. The second time I was watering my plants. By the fourth time, I started to wonder if the universe had assigned him to me as some sort of karmic punishment. But nothing prepared me for the day he knocked on my door with fear, real fear, in his usually cold blue eyes. I moved into Marlow Heights in early spring, choosing the third-floor apartment specifically because it had sunlight, quiet, and, well, what I thought was friendly suburb energy. But on the very first morning, Liam marched over with a clipboard as if he owned the building. He was tall, sharply built, blonde hair trimmed with military precision, and had the personality of a brick wall someone painted "No trespassing" on. "Your car is 2 inches over the line," he said, not bothering to introduce himself. "It's 7 in the morning," I replied. "And also, 2 inches." He didn't blink. He took a picture and walked away. That should have been my warning. Within 2 weeks, he'd reported me for playing music audibly, running a blender at 5 p.m., and letting my visiting cousin park in the wrong spot for 12 minutes. He even complained that my balcony plants dripped suspicious water. Every time the security team would sigh, review the CCTV, and half-heartedly remind me to be mindful. It got to a point where the guards and I were on first-name basis while Liam watched from afar like a hawk that hated joy. But I refused to give him the satisfaction of reacting. I'd smile, wave, sometimes even greet him with, "Good evening, Captain Clipboard." It infuriated him. One day, when I caught him glaring at me while I carried groceries, I asked, "Do you hate me because I exist or because I breathe too loudly?" He turned scarlet. "This is a respectable building. Some of us follow the rules. Some of us also need hobbies," I muttered. But the real shift started on a humid Friday night. I was arriving home when I heard noises outside Liam's apartment. Soft thuds like boxes being dragged. His door was cracked open. For anyone else, I'd have knocked or asked if they needed help. For Liam, kept walking. Still something felt off. He pulled heavy black duffel bags inside, looking around with a nervous jitter of someone expecting trouble. Not his usual self-righteous focus. More hunted. Days passed, and he didn't report me for anything. Not a glare. Not a complaint. Silence. It should have felt like peace, but instead it felt like storm clouds gathering. Then, at 4:12 a.m. on a Wednesday, my door shook under frantic knocking. When I opened it, Liam stood there, sweaty, trembling, pupils blown wide. For the first time since I met him, he looked human. Scared, breakable. I need your help," he whispered. "Please." It took me a full 5 seconds to process that the man who once filed a complaint because my wind chimes disrupted his mental clarity was begging at my door. "What happened?" I asked cautiously. He motioned for me to keep my voice down, then stepped inside, locking the door behind him. "There are people after me," he said, pacing. "I made some deals. Transported items. It's not what you think. I'm not dangerous, but something went wrong. They think I stole from them. They're coming here." And blinked. "So you're saying you've been doing illegal stuff under everyone's noses while reporting me for playing Taylor Swift too loudly?" He winced. "Yes. But I need somewhere to hide the footage. They know the building cameras picked them up earlier and..." "Footage?" "Yes. My own cameras too. Please. You're the only person who might help me." I laughed. An actual shocked laugh. "Liam, you've made my life miserable for months." He looked at me then, truly looked, and his voice broke. "I know. And I'm sorry. But I'm begging you. Please." The universe has a twisted sense of humor. I didn't scream at him. I didn't shove him out. I simply nodded slowly, pretending to consider it. He sagged in relief. Okay, I said quietly. Give me everything. He handed over a USB drive and 2 SD cards with shaking hands. He thought I was going to hide them. I wasn't. When he left, after mumbling another desperate thank you, I locked my door and sat at my desk. Then, with steady hands, I opened my laptop. The footage was damning. Liam carrying suspicious bags. Men in hoodies exchanging packages with him. Vehicles with plates partially visible. Illegal imports. Buried money. So much for Captain Clipboard. And the best part. The angles. The crystal clear shots. Because every camera that he had used to report my infractions was also recording his illicit midnight activities. For months he weaponized CCTV against me. Tonight the walls spoke back. I didn't send the footage to the police directly. That would trace back to me. Instead, I uploaded it anonymously through the city's whistleblower portal and sent matching copies to local investigative journalists. Within 48 hours, the building buzzed like a kicked beehive. Police surrounded Liam's apartment at dawn. I watched from my window as officers escorted him out in handcuffs. For once, his blonde hair was disheveled. His perfect composure shattered. His eyes scanned the building until, briefly, they landed on my balcony. I didn't wave. I just sipped my morning coffee. Later that afternoon, the building group chat exploded with neighbors asking if anyone understood what had happened. The association promised safety, transparency, and a review of all security practices. The same security guards who used to review my crimes now shook their heads in disbelief. He always acted like everyone else was the problem, one said. Never imagined he was the one doing dirt. Life returned to normal after that. Quiet, peaceful, almost boring. No more complaints filed under my name. No more glares in hallways. No more anxiety when my blender ran for too long. A week later, I received an anonymous message through the whistleblower portal. Information received. Action successful. Thank you for your civic duty. I closed the laptop with a satisfied smile. Marlow Heights was finally the peaceful home I had imagined. And Liam Carver, the man who hated me for being human, had finally learned what it felt like when the rules turned on him. The universe may have a twisted sense of humor, but sometimes it lets you deliver the punchline.